Hello Georgetown, I'm Beverly Enos and this is Spotlight Georgetown. You can find us Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And that's our regular hours. Quite often you'll find us at 8 o'clock other mornings talking about different things, and sometimes 2 or 3 in the afternoon or 2 or 3 in the middle of the night type morning. But Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. for our regular standard times. If you would like to become part of Spotlight Georgetown, or if you would like to learn how to run a camera, if you would like to do some camera work for the town, for games or things that are going on, or for your organization, nonprofit organizations, you have the use of the equipment here as well as anybody else. Just let us know. We'll train you. We have the equipment and would love to see you join us. Now today we're going to be talking to Billy Pooler, and he is here from Get in Shape for Women, which is a new, it's not a gym, but it's a new health...
Small group personal training for women.
Okay. Here in Georgetown, down in the strip mall area right next to the grocery store. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, you're not from Georgetown yourself.
Right. I live currently in York, Maine, but I grew up in the area, grew up in Northampton, New Hampshire, and graduated from UNH, and then moved south and immediately got into the health and fitness business, and that's what I've done all my life since college.
So for, what did you say, 30 years you've been doing this, in general, this type of
Yeah,
work?
yeah, but just about 30 years.
Now, what is some of your personal interest beyond work?
Well, yeah, I enjoy my career, and I live in a beautiful place. I have about 20 miles of woods behind my house, so I'm an avid mountain biker, and I also road cycle as well, and do some other things in the woods as far as cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, things like that.
So just anything athletic is really right up your alley.
I've done athletics all my life, but and I do the strength training, as well. Yeah.
Okay, Get in Shape for Women. What is that all about?
Well, it's a bit different, and it's small group personal training, anywhere from 1 to 4 women at a time, and then we have four different principles. The first is strength training to help women increase their muscle tone and increase their metabolism. The second principle would be cardiovascular exercise to help them to burn fat and calories and improve their endurance and their energy level. The third is supportive nutrition, and we want to make sure that our people are taking in the right amount of calories. Their protein intake is where it should be, even their water intake, and so we customize a 6 meal per day plan for them. And the fourth principle would be accountability, and probably the most important. And we've found that for optimal results, people really need to be held accountable. And so one of the things that we do is check body composition every 2 weeks, weight and body fat percentage, just to ensure that the ladies hit their goals.
So to do this, it's on a scale, but the scale actually measures not just weight, it measures what else? Body
fat percentage, water, lean muscle mass as well. So there's different tools that help us to track a lady's progress.
Because sometimes being a certain weight is not necessarily being healthy.
Correct. Yeah, we have people that are often, they may be at a weight where they think they're petite, for example, and yet when they see what their body fat percentage is, it's not in a healthy zone.
And quite often people that they could be as trim as could be and still don't have the core strength or the body strength to do day-to-day activities.
Right. We have a variety of women, all ages, from really even high school up to 84 years old, with a variety of goals, and coming in with different levels of fitness as they start out, and so they have a variety of needs. Right.
Now the small group dynamic, what's different from that? And if I go into a gym, what would the difference be?
There really is something different about it, and I think it really is more than the sum of all the different parts to it. But there's a real culture of support and encouragement, and women, are even encouraging to each other, and it's just a place where they really feel comfortable. And I was talking to a woman yesterday who put it like this. She said, it feels like it does when I go into a friend's house. So I thought that really spoke volumes.
Yeah. And having been in there, it's not Spandex City.
It is not Spandex City.
Oh,
that is I've never even thought of that, but no, it is not Spandex City.
Because a lot of women don't want to go someplace because maybe they don't have a body that they want to put in spandex, or because of their age or how they feel about it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't appeal to them going to a gym that everybody is already where they need to be.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. And again, I've been in the business now almost 30 years, and I've seen that over the years where it's really the most important factor when someone is considering starting with some type of exercise program, that they are going to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it is a really very special atmosphere, and the culture is very different than anything I've ever seen. That's why I was attracted to it, and it's really the most results-oriented program that I've seen in all the years that I've been in the business.
So for the small group dynamic, if someone comes in and let's say they have an 8 o'clock, it's done by appointment. It's not an open concept. It's done by appointment.
Right, but there's a lot of flexibility. Yeah.
Right, but if they can't make that time, they can sign up for another.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when they come in, they're going to work on whatever the machines are. But there's only going to be 4 ladies in that whole section.
Right.
With the trainer.
Correct, and that's again, it's of course the concept of personal training isn't anything new, and we've had it in the health club business for many years. Generally, it's one-on-one, but there's something about adding that second, third, or fourth woman that just they have as you well know this morning, they have a fun time. It's very positive. And
they can groan with each other sometimes.
there's a lot of different things going on. So. But yeah, they work hard, but there seems to be a balance that we strike between encouraging and being supportive, and them having fun, and yet they work hard and they get great results.
I've never been a gym person, but from what I've seen, they work a lot harder than you would on your own in any type of exercise or gym program.
Yeah, again, I had a woman this morning talking about, it's amazing. At first, I would be being trained by Dan, Dan, and he would ask me to do certain things, and I would think that I couldn't do them, and yet I could. And she would say, now I know I can. So yeah, they were able to very quickly determine, how far we can really push someone, if you want to use that word, to help them just to get their best results.
How long would it be if someone joined before they would start to see some sort of results?
Everybody's different, but I think the first thing that people or women start to see, even in the first couple of weeks, is they start to feel better. They have more energy. They often find that they're sleeping better. They begin to see a difference as far as a little bit as far as muscle tone, or losing inches, losing body fat percentage. Their weight starts to come down. Their clothes start to feel a little differently. All of this is early on, and yeah, the process starts early on, and they start to see results right away. I was talking to a woman a couple of weeks ago. I think she'd only been in the program about 2 months at the time, and I was just commenting that she'd been doing very well and had been getting great results. And I said, you just look great, and I don't know how else to put this except that you look like you've turned the clock back 8 years. And she said, my husband said the exact same thing to me. So I felt good that 2 different people noticed the exact same thing about her. I felt good for her that she's been doing well.
Now I know you talk to everybody that comes in, because
yeah, we know
it's a very
by name.
Small family in there.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of people that have tried other options and decided to try yours, and how do they feel about the difference?
Yeah, you're right. The normal scenario is that just about everyone that starts out with us has tried even multiple things in the past, different types of diets. They've been members of gyms, tried different things, and so I think they're often drawn to it because of the accountability and just the fact that it is comprehensive, and they feel good about being trained to where we make the most effective use of their time.
Now you have a very long questionnaire application type process, and it does go into quite a bit about the abilities of the people. So let's say someone has had a hip replacement or a knee, or they have whatever is going on with them. Do you customize the program for that woman?
We do, yeah. It's just a couple pages that we have them fill out. We just want to make sure that we have a feel for their background, even what they've done for any previous exercise, if anything. We've had people start out that they were athletes in college or even afterwards and have kind of let things go, or people that have never done anything. So because we get different ages and different levels of fitness, and their goals are often somewhat different, everything is customized, and even each workout is different. And not only does it keep it more interesting, but it keeps the people in a constant state. Why are you grinning? Keeps them in a constant state of progressing, and you know that.
Well, I saw some women this morning, and Dan gave them something that they had never done before, and everybody's watching to like, okay, now how do you do that? So it changes. It is a change up every day. You don't do the same thing day after day. Yeah,
and that's something that I've seen over the years in people will start out with an exercise program and pretty much do the same types of things and the same routine and so forth. Well, very quickly they get to a point where their body adapts and becomes accustomed to what they're doing, and then they start to get a very diminished return on their time investment, even after 3.5 or 4 weeks or so. And so while they still feel pretty good, they're not really progressing toward their goals. And so what often happens is they eventually get discouraged and either completely drop out, or maybe the program, initially what they thought it would be, it just kind of becomes a shell of what it was. And so,
or a social place to gather.
Yeah, it's just different things. So it's very results oriented, and so what we do is you are always in a state of progressing toward your goals. We wouldn't wait to analyze your data and see that you've been stagnant for 3 or 4 weeks. We just lost 3 or 4 weeks. We don't want to wait till that point. We just keep you in a constant state of progressing toward your goals.
Now, what type of goals do the women usually that come in there, what are they looking for? Weight loss being one, but what other things?
Yeah, different things. And kind of a trend I've seen over the years is they really just want to become healthy. And I'm seeing a lot of very high stress levels. Ladies might be in their 40s or 50s or 60s. They've had a career, family, or both. And I've just seen where they're, over the years, often putting everyone else or everything else first. And then the next thing they know, they turn around and they've kind of let themselves go, and their health level is not where they want it. And so, goals can vary.
Now, other than the success rate, what else makes something like this really successful for the ladies?
Well, different things. I think the fact that it's comprehensive is a very important component. I think the accountability is important as well. And again, we've just found that for optimal results, that people need to be held accountable by someone other than themselves. I think the small group component is important.
You can't get in the back row of the class and not do the work.
Oh yeah, there's no way. Yeah, and on that note, all you have to do is just get in the front door. If you've noticed, we've kind of take over from there. If you can just get in the front door, and I think you always leave feeling better than when you arrived.
Now, is this programs for everyone? I mean, does everybody just walk in and join?
Well, it's great if they would give us a ring, or they can stop by either way. And often what we'll do is just to have them come down and take them through a little mini version of what we would normally do, and just talk to them a little bit about their goals and just to see if it's a good fit.
So that
both for us and for them.
So they're not just thrown into this with no understanding or no knowledge.
Correct. Yeah. And again, we want to make sure it's a good fit for them as well as for us.
Now, I've seen some of the success stories on the walls. You have monthly best losers, and you have some other things. What are some of the success stories from your particular branch?
We've had within the franchise just 80 and 90 pounds and things like that. And of course, we've just been here since May, and we've had several women in just a few months reach over 30 pounds and 8 and 9% loss as far as body fat percentage. But the big thing is I see every day women just transform in front of my eyes, and what's interesting is the way it impacts their lives in so many other ways. You know, they're doing activities that they haven't done in years, and
Such as?
cross-country skiing, or getting down on the floor and playing with their grandchildren, and it's been 5 or 8 or 10 years since they've done that sort of thing. So I think that's what really makes it, one of the things that makes it so rewarding, is it's not just about weight or even body fat percentage. It's not just about a number, but it's about what, when they become healthy, what it just adds to their life. And I think that sometimes they kind of lose sight of that over the years, and they're more focused on just the number, but it's or they forget how well they used to feel, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because nobody gets out of condition, let's say, all at once. It's a gradual process.
Right.
So getting back in condition is a gradual process.
Correct.
There are lots of TV shows out there now about weight loss and things like that. Of course, the one that most people see is like Biggest Loser, things like that. And being in, and that's a small dynamic exercise program, a little extreme with the number of hours that they spend, but it is very similar, as in there are 1 or 2 trainers for a half dozen to a dozen people.
Yeah.
You don't have 40 people in the gym and somebody's saying, this is what you do.
Yeah.
Now, you've worked in gyms and this type of thing through the years. What has been the biggest change through the years, other than, it went from aerobics to what? What are the changes?
There have been so many changes, and it was really almost a brand new industry when I got into it, and there were so few health clubs around, and but I think one of the most interesting things that I've noticed, and it's a fairly short period of time over the 30 years, is that people are even more conditioned now, and it's probably for a variety of reasons, but I see stress levels are higher, their nutrition is not as good, and they're just not as active. They're very busy with careers, very busy with their family and so forth, and they just haven't set the time aside over the years to keep themselves healthy. So that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed that's different.
So when someone joins and they've come in and they've worked for a couple of weeks, and then when you start working with nutrition, what type of program do you set up? What do you recommend?
Well, small, again, really would boil down to 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, and it's the frequency that's important, and there's so many areas where people make mistakes, and it's often a real important part of it is and when you do this one, as you spend time with different members, is you're kind of getting a feel for what a day in their life is like, because everybody's schedule is different and what they do, and so that's a big part of it, is kind of walking through their day, with them in a way, and planning, being prepared and planning, and yeah, so that's kind of where we start with them.
Does this mean they can never have chocolate cake again?
That is, let me chew on that. No, that does not mean that, because as you know, we have a free day. Every day they have a day where they can relax, and they could have a small piece of chocolate cake if they wanted to.
So it's something that is a lifestyle that is relatively what people would call normal.
Yeah, and yet there's some flexibility. We want to let them have something each week that they can look forward to. It's got to be something that's realistic, where they can mesh it with a party or a Super Bowl party or something that weekend, where they know they're going to be in a place where maybe they'll be exposed to things that won't be as healthy for them. Some
of the lighter moments that go on in the studio.
Oh, Beverly, we have a good time down there, we enjoy the music, and there's a lot of laughing, and yet again they work hard. This morning there was a local TV host as I arrived at the club, who in front of all the members asked me if I could arrive today about 30 minutes early so that she could do makeup and hair.
Yeah.
And so they got a big kick out of that.
There were lots of giggles over that one.
Appreciate that.
Yes, anytime.
Yeah.
When the member comes in, they're going to first go onto the machines and work with a personal trainer.
Correct.
And that's for a half hour.
Yes. Yep.
And then after that, they go to
30 minutes of cardio, and we do intervals.
Explain an interval.
They would need to come down. No, well, intervals are having someone push for very short periods of time during their period of cardiovascular exercise, the pace to where they would get closer, right at what we call the anaerobic threshold, and where they're burning fat and calories at a higher rate, and you also get the benefit of an afterburn when leaving the studio for up to 1 or 3 hours. You'll burn another 100 calories, and after some time you'll kind of permanently raise your level of fitness as well. So very effective.
That's done on treadmill or elliptical machines.
Or the ellipticals, yeah.
So there are 2 options for that one as well.
Correct.
And everybody walks around with water bottles and
Yeah, you need them.
and big smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is there a website for people to go in and see what you're about?
Yep. GetInShapeForWomen.com.
Okay, GetInShapeForWomen.com.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Have we covered everything for you?
I think so.
I think we've had a good time.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't forget, Get in Shape for Women, for all you women that would like to get in shape. It's right downtown here in Georgetown. I'm Beverly Enos. This is Spotlight Georgetown, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Thank you for joining us today. Bye for now.